I've spent the last 10 years posting videos on YouTube. I've made a lot of mistakes, but I've also had a lot of success generating millions of views from my long form content. And so I've put together a list of 50 tips that if you start implementing right now on your channel, you are going to see explosive growth. Let's dive in. Tip number one, and this is by far the most important tip. If there's one thing you take away, let it be this: invest most of your time into topic, title, and thumbnail research. Whenever I do one-on-one consultations or channel reviews, this is where I spend the most of my time focusing on, because if you have bad packaging, no one's ever gonna click on your video and you just won't get views. So technically, like, people get way overoccupied with the editing and the filming and having good camera gear, and they spend way too little time on how do I actually even get someone to click on this video? And those are like the 3 foundational things. And we'll be diving deeper into those in this video and helping you improve those. And that's why you're going to experience explosive growth, because when you put your effort on the front, on the packaging, your video is going to pop up in front of more people and people are going to click on your video. And once we have that, once we have a problem with people are clicking on the video and they're not staying watching, then we can worry about editing and all the other stuff. But first, let's make sure there's actually people clicking on our content. And let's actually start with some tips covering topic choice. And the first tip is to only make videos around proven topics that you've researched. What you have to understand is that YouTube is a pull system, not a push system. So viewers come to YouTube and YouTube pays attention to what topics are they interested in? What are they watching? What do they click on? What do they not click on, etc. So viewers come to YouTube, and then YouTube is taking all that data and recommending videos for them to watch based on that. So it's all centered around viewers. So what we need to do as creators is figure out what videos and topics are my viewers interested in, and then create content around that, because YouTube's taking that data and then recommending other videos it thinks they're interested in. So you can't just start with, here's the ideas I want to make those videos, because there's no guarantee that that aligns with the viewer's interest of what they actually want to watch. And this is what all the top creators are doing on the platform. They're not just posting a video and hoping it gets views. They are taking the time to figure out, what does my audience care about? And then making that type of content. And let's actually get into some of the strategies you can use to find proven topics. One of the ways you can do this is look at the most viewed videos from your competitors. So you can look at the bigger channels, the middle-sized channels, the smaller ones that are starting to gain momentum. You want to sort their videos by most popular, and you want to write down all those top performing topics, because obviously those really blew up and got a lot of views on their channel. So there's a lot of interest around those topics. Chances are these are topics you'll probably want to cover on your channel. Now there is the chance that you might find a video where it's like 6 years ago and this did really well. There could be a chance it still doesn't work anymore, but I'd still write it down. This is something that has interested your audience in the past, and it might be worth covering. Next, you'll want to look at outlier videos from your competitors. So sort the videos by recent, and what you want to do is find the pattern of their average amount of views. So maybe a channel on average gets 10,000 views per video. And so as you're scrolling through, you're looking, and then, oh, here's a video that way outperformed all the other videos on their channel that they've recently posted. You can also use the free extension of vidIQ that will show you an outlier score underneath the videos, and that gives you a little clue that, hey, this video way outperformed what they normally do on this channel, which means this outgrew the tight-knit community that's always watching every single video. This has reached a brand new audience, or interested more of the audience. And the reason why it's outperforming other videos is there must be high interest around whatever topic that is. So write that down on this list as well. You can also think about, what does your viewer frequently search or ask questions about? And you can go and type that into YouTube and look at the top content that pops up in the search results. One of the things I look for is, one, that outlier score. Is this video outperforming their normal content? But number 2, does the video have more views than the channel has subscribers? If that's the case, then this is a really hot topic. This is a video that's really growing this channel, and definitely something to add to your list of ideas. Another thing to ask is there a trending topic that right now has a lot of viewer interest? And if there is a way to tie that to your channel. I recently saw on TikTok a divorce lawyer do this. They're talking about if Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce get married, like what kind of documents would they need to sign and things like that to like protect their incomes and different things like that. And I thought that was like a super creative way to tie in a very trendy topic, but also kind of relate it to her products and services. So try to keep an eye out for those things. You can also look at videos that have performed well for you in the past. Maybe you can make another one or a follow-up video. If you're normally getting 100, 200 views and poof, you have a video that gets 3,000 views. Why did that get 3,000 views? There's obviously interest or something around that. Maybe we can make a part 2 or a follow-up, something, you know, covering that topic again or going more in depth or adding more value in a certain way. If that video has momentum and YouTube sees that, oh, this viewer watched this video from this creator and liked it, and oh, here's another video on that same creator's channel on this same topic, it's really easy for YouTube to recommend another one of your videos for them to watch. And then also you can just brainstorm what your audience would find interesting. If you really know the viewers you are trying to reach, you know their concerns, you know what might pique their curiosity, brainstorm those ideas, write those down. You can also just search those ideas too and see if someone's already done this in the past. Did it work? Did it not work? Did they just fail to execute on it? But having some natural brainstorming in there is also useful. And I'm including this also as a tip because I think it's super important to write this all down. You should have a super long list of notes of all these different viral ideas. So that way you can always reference, okay, here is what's working in my niche across YouTube. This is what I can build off of. And that's actually the next tip. Once you have a list of proven ideas, either make a similar video to the ones that went viral, or find a way to add more value around that topic. For example, if someone makes a video like best camera for YouTube videos, yeah, you could make your own version of that video, or maybe you find a way to add value around that topic. Best camera accessories for YouTubers. Maybe there's a way where even if someone clicks on their video, your video might be suggested next to it because it's around that same topic of YouTube camera. But we're working off of, here's what's working. Here's what's getting views. And now we're trying to make a connection to where the traffic already is. We're not trying to generate our own traffic around some topic that the viewer's not even interested in. It's gonna be really hard for YouTube to pull that video and recommend it to a viewer. We wanna go off of, this is what viewers are watching. Here's a viewer's watch history. Let's make a topic around that, because then YouTube's like, oh, I can already see this viewer was interested in this topic. And oh, here's a new video that just came out also on that topic. You're gonna have a higher chance of YouTube actually showing that in front of that viewer. And another part of that is finding your competitive edge. You know, we want to stand out from everyone else. You know, if there's 20 videos on, you know, well, we were using best camera for YouTube. So like if there's 20 videos on what's the best camera for YouTube, like how are you going to stand out? What's going to make your content different? Some ways you can do this is more recent information. So 2024 update, 2025 update, you know, you can, or just having update at the end. Like people want the most recent information because it's probably the most accurate. Maybe yours stands out as an ultimate guide or some kind of complete collection or compilation or something like that, where it's a very long, in-depth video or something I can put on the TV for YouTube and it'll just play and I can have it as background noise. Or maybe the way your video stands out is yours is fast. You get to the point right away. It's a short snippet that I can watch on my lunch break. That can also be a way to stand out. You could make a long-term review if it's something like a product. A really popular channel is, I think it's called 6 Months Later, and all they do is reviews after they've used the product for 6 months. And that lets people are interested in that because, oh, this person's had it for a long time. It's not just someone, you know, picked it up from Best Buy and is now filming a video. It's like, oh, this is a long-term user. I'm going to actually learn if this is a good product or not. You could do a expert opinion or reaction. If you are more of an expert in your area of expertise, having that in the title or in your thumbnail shows that, hey, this person has some authority, they have some knowledge. I want to hear this from an actual person than some Joe Schmo on YouTube. And another way to stand out is just know the audience's problems and what they actually want and what's actually going to stand out to them. The more you know that viewer and what you think will pique their curiosity or make them click because, you know, they have this problem and they want the solution for it. If you can communicate that with your title and thumbnail, you can speak directly to the viewer to where they're going to click. Moving on to tip number 12 is don't worry about keywords. All right. The algorithm is not recommending content based on keywords. It's recommending content based on viewer interest and viewer satisfaction. And that's what it's looking at. Do people click? Do they watch? Do viewers like this video? And YouTube has different signals that determines that. It no longer looks at keywords or anything like that. So you don't have to necessarily match the exact search query or stuff your title full of things to help YouTube know where to put this video. YouTube's recommended gaming videos to me that have nothing related to the game in the title, but it knows, and its AI can recognize that, oh yes, this is this game. Let's show it to people who are watching content related to this game and see how it does. Oh, it works really well. Let's show it out to more people who are interested in this game. And poof, you have a video take off that has nothing about the game in the title, but has something that's going to persuade the fan base of that game to click. So really focus more on viewer persuasion versus let me just shove a bunch of keywords in here in hopes that it's gonna make the video pop up in front of my viewer. And when it does, you know, even if it did, is that keyword stuff title really gonna get people to click? Probably not. Tip number 13 is to make a bingeable series for your viewer and then put it into a playlist on your homepage. And a really easy way to start is to just think of 4 videos that if my viewer watched each of these 4 videos in a row, they'd be like, wow, this is awesome. This is like, you know, I could binge this type of series. For example, if you go to my channel right now, I have a YouTube for Beginners playlist. And as soon as someone goes to that, they're going to see there's a free 2-hour course on YouTube that literally covers everything. And it's right there. And then there's some other videos that follow it too. So if someone comes across that, they're like, sweet, a free 2-hour course that Colin used to have as paid and now is free, that I can just start binge watching and learn all the secrets of YouTube. That's awesome. And so whatever your niche is, like maybe you're a real estate agent, okay? If whatever area you're located, what are the 4 videos that a potential home buyer would love to binge watch and learn about the area and learn more about you and the different things? Or maybe you make gaming content. What are 4 videos that your viewer would find really entertaining that they could easily watch? We want to create binge sessions where they watch one of our videos and another video and another video and another video. And the best way to do that is to make your homepage basically a Netflix. And the greatest way to start, just start with one playlist, try to make a series of bingeable content. And then also you can promote that in your videos. You can let people know, hey, go to my channel and check out this playlist where you can watch all of this content or this whole thing created just for you. And they could be part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, or they could just be the best set of videos to watch in a row. And now you're giving your viewers a call to action to go into a playlist, and in playlists, they just get stuck in watching your content and no one else's. So try to create that with your channel. Moving on with the content creation process, tip number 14 is to script the first few sentences of your video, which is your hook, so that viewers know that they have clicked on the right video. So you've got your thumbnail and title and it's made a promise. And so the first few sentences where you're talking or you're showing something, viewers are deciding, is this person actually going to deliver on this promise? If they're not, I'm going to scroll on past and find a different video to watch. So you really want to make sure that you keep the viewer engaged and hooked, and they know that, hey, there is value coming up. There's something entertaining coming up that you're going to want to watch. You know, if you think about podcasts, for example, like Diary of a CEO or some of the other podcasts, they have really engaging 15, 30-second, minute hooks letting you know, here's all the exciting content coming up. Here's all the great information you're going to learn. you need to stay listening to this podcast. And then people will literally sit there through barely any editing for 2 hours listening to a podcast because that opening hook set up everything. And if they just started the podcast without that, like, no one would sit there and listen because there's like no editing in a podcast. And even if your video isn't a podcast, still setting up the video and giving people a reason to stay and why they should stay and listen to you is super important. So write out those sentences, make sure that, you know, everything a viewer needs to know and why they should stay watching, and maybe even something about why they should listen to you. Like, I started this video talking about I've been doing YouTube for 10 years. Like, if someone's been doing YouTube for 10 years, you should probably listen to them because they have a lot of knowledge to share, a lot of mistakes they've learned from. You might have your own expertise, and that lets people know, hey, I should listen to this person over the next person because they actually know what they're doing. All in all, plan out that hook. Make sure that it grabs people's attention, shows them why I should stay watching this video. Also related to that is don't have a branded intro before your hook. I know some people like to be like a TV show and they have this fun intro and also tells people to subscribe for some reason, which you should definitely not do, but you have to have a hook first. And if you really want a branded intro, hook, then you can have your intro happen and then you can go on with, you know, whatever you're doing. But the hook has to be there first. Otherwise, people are going to click off super fast if the first thing they land on is this, you know, copy and pasted intro that doesn't confirm that, yes, I clicked on the right video. Also important, tip number 16, don't self-promote in your intro. This is not a time to let people know everything that you do and why they should like, comment, and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Like, this is not the time to do it. We need to, again, someone's clicked on the video, they were promised something in the title and the thumbnail, and they want to know if you're going to deliver on it. They don't want to subscribe yet. You haven't added value to them. They're not going to buy something from you. So first, hook the viewer in, and then later down the road, maybe a few minutes in, you can talk about your product, or you can tell someone to subscribe, or you can go through all those different things. But you can't self-promote at the beginning. Another important part of the intro is to share credentials and authority. We kind of already talked about this, but again, showing your authority. Even if you're in entertainment, show that, hey, like maybe you're really good at the game or you've spent a lot of hours in the game. You know, try to find a way where people can see that, yes, this is someone I should watch or listen to, or I may find entertaining. Another important part of your opening hook or intro is to have visual elements. You don't just want it to be a still talking head video. You don't want it to just go straight into gameplay. Like, you want to visually show as much as possible. Whether that is stock footage that you add over the top of your videos, like B-roll, so you're showing different clips and things like that to keep viewers engaged, or whether you film your own B-roll or different clips of yourself doing the different tasks that you're talking about. You can also do things like zoom-ins and jump cuts. Like, you want this opening hook to be the most engaging part with the most clips and text and effects in there. Another thing you can add to enhance your intro, as well as enhance the rest of your video, is to use music and sound effects, which is where the sponsor of our video, Epidemic Sound, can help. Epidemic Sound is the leading provider of high-quality, royalty-free music and sound effects, offering a huge library that's accessible not only online, but also through Epidemic Sound's Premiere Pro plugin and soon-to-be DaVinci Resolve plugin that'll be coming later this fall. Once installed, you can easily access Epidemic Sound's entire library directly within Premiere Pro. One of my favorite features with this plugin is something called Timeline Sync, which if you turn this on, it'll actually allow you to preview the song while the video is playing, so you can actually see what it's going to sound like before you even download the track, which is not only going to save you time, but it's going to keep your files from looking like this mess. There's also advanced features like search by video, which will look at the current frame you are on and recommend music that it thinks would fit the scene. And right now, like literally right now, Epidemic Sound is offering a limited time discount of 25% off their annual plans. So if you've been holding off, now is the time to start soundtracking your content. I'm going to have the link and the coupon code in the description. Go and check it out. And while we're on this topic of music, tip number 20 is to make sure your music and sound effects are not at full volume. Like, this is going to get people to click off if that's the case. So make sure the music is actually background music. Make sure that the sound effects are not full volume. Otherwise, it's going to irritate people. They're going to click off. We want to use it to enhance our video, but not overpower the vocals of our intro or the rest of our video. Tip number 21 is that when you're editing, if you can remove a section of your video and it still makes sense, remove it. You don't just want there to be clips of you ranting where it doesn't really add value to the video, or maybe there's a part where there's nothing really happening, where we could literally just cut ahead to the action part to a part where there's actually something going on. And I know that can be difficult, especially when you're editing your own videos, to be very unbiased, but try to do that. Oh, after I edit my videos, I will literally click play and just watch it through and it'll be like, okay, I kind of talked too long. I noticed for all the other points, I talked for 30 seconds. And then for this point, I talked for a minute and a half. Do I really want to leave all these sentences in here, or should I delete a few just so we can get to the next tip? Keeping viewers engaged and watching through till the end is super important. So make sure that you're not ranting and that there's no like just boring parts that could easily be cut out. Also, on the topic of editing, don't worry about 4K exports. This might get me in trouble a bit. I feel like people might have a problem with this. I still film in 1080p in 2024 here. You don't really need to be filming in 4K, especially if you're starting out. If it's going to cause you problems with creating content because, you know, you're running out of storage, it's harder to edit, your editor is lagging out, or your computer can't handle it as well, like, just use 1080p. In my entire career on YouTube that I've been doing for 10 years, I got a comment maybe 2 or 3 months ago that mentioned, this video's in 1080p, why isn't it in 4K? You know, and here I am at 300,000 subscribers, and one comment has complained about it not being 4K. So you can always worry about that in the future when you got money to spend and you're this big, massive channel and you got all these leads and things like that. But for now, don't worry about 4K. Tip number 23 is don't use video ending language. Instead, promote another one of your videos. So what do I mean by this? So when you get to the end of your video, you might be tempted to, and that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, you know, you go through that whole yada yada. That tells people this person has no more value to add to me. Time to go find another video. Which we don't want that to happen. We ultimately want people to watch nothing but our videos. They can never leave our channel. They have to keep binging our content. And so the way to do that is when you get to the end of the video, you start making a call to action to go watch another video, and you put an end card at the end of your video, and you can actually point to it and talk about the video. So, you know, maybe at the end of this video, I'll be like, no, you'll want to check out our free YouTube course that we have here on YouTube. This is going to teach you absolutely everything you need to know about YouTube. So click over here and start watching that. Now I'm taking viewers and I'm pushing them to another one of my videos. I'm telling them why they should watch it, why they're going to enjoy it, why it's going to add value. And so they can click on that and poof, now they're watching another one of my videos. And that sends signals to YouTube that, hey, whenever we recommend one of Colin's videos, the viewer ends up watching like 2 or 3 of them. And that tells YouTube that, hey, viewers really enjoy this channel. Let's put this in front of other people who are also interested in this type of content. So you can really propel your channel and create these binge watching sessions. And YouTube absolutely loves when people just spend all their time on YouTube. So help YouTube accomplish that goal and promote your own stuff at the end of your videos, and don't use ending language like goodbye. That's the end of the video. Moving on to thumbnails with tip number 24, and that is your thumbnail needs to be stupid simple and easy to understand. People often think that they need to be like a graphic designer or need to add all these advanced elements in, when in reality, it's just simplicity. We only want to have in the thumbnail what needs to be in the thumbnail that's going to either show that, hey, I'm going to add value to you if you watch this video, or provoke someone's curiosity and persuade them to click. And related to that, tip number 25 is clarity over cleverness. You know, sometimes people think cleverness will persuade viewers to click, but ultimately we want clarity, that this is what's contained in the video. Because when you try to get clever is when you start to get confusing, because not everyone might catch on to your cleverness. Like in advertising, like clever ads might impress, you know, like people like, oh, wow, that was some clever wording. But does it convert sales? No, not usually. Usually it's a very clear ad is going to convert more than something that's clever and funny. So make sure your YouTube thumbnail, your billboard, is clear. When making thumbnails, make sure you're using bold text. I've seen some thumbnails where they use like cursive or this weird handwriting font where it's really hard to read, especially if someone's looking at it on a phone. It's really difficult to read. You want bold, white text that's very easy to read. Sometimes black text can work too. I usually stay away from colored text, but you want very bold letters so it can be read on any device. You also want to probably follow the 3-element rule, which is that you should only really have 3 main elements in your thumbnail. So one could be a person, a second element could be maybe a graphic or an app icon or something like that. And then maybe the third could be like text or something like that. Usually all the best thumbnails follow a similar pattern to that, where there's not tons of things to look at. I can look at it for half a second. There's only really 3 things I can look at, and then I'm able to grasp or understand if I should click on this video or not. So try to stick to only 3 main elements on screen. Also, only use 2 to 5 words in your thumbnail. Some people will literally copy and paste the title into their thumbnail. Don't do that. Try to keep it as simple as possible. Again, stupid simple. I should be able to look in half a second and understand what's going on. So the less words I have to read, or the viewer has to read, the better. If you do decide to include a picture of yourself, make sure that it's a close-up, well-lit photo. So you want to make sure when you take photos for your thumbnail, very well lit. Try not to screen grab your face. Actually take pictures for your thumbnail and maybe put them through a photo editor and adjust the brightness and make them look really nice. And then you want that thumbnail to be big. People are going to, again, looking on a phone, phone screen, it's tiny. So you want to zoom up your face up close. People can see your eyes and your face and recognize you. You don't want to do like a full body shot, because then you're going to be far away. It'll be harder to recognize your face. And when viewers start to recognize your face, they're like, oh, hey, look, this person just posted a video again. I want to click on it. I want to watch it because I know who this person is. So make sure it's a very zoomed in photo. And if you use text on screen, or you could even do this with pictures, promise the solution or end result your viewer wants. That is ultimately going to get them to click if it's that kind of video. An end result that might appeal to you is 100,000 views, or 100,000 subscribers, a silver play button. If I click on this video, here's the exact steps where I can get this. That might appeal to the people watching this type of video. So think about your audience. What solutions, what pains do they want solved? If you can target those in your thumbnail, that can really persuade them to click. And then I also encourage you, make multiple thumbnails. I'd say at least 3 different thumbnails, because as you make different variations, the first thumbnail you make, you might think is good, but it's really the 3rd or 4th thumbnail that is just out of this park, way better than the first one you created. And the only way you get there is you make one variation, and you're like, okay, what else could I do? How else could I stand out to this audience? And we try another concept, and we try another concept. And then eventually you have a few different options to choose from. And then also you can kind of run them against each other. So you could post the first thumbnail that you think will do good, monitor that video for like a week or 2, see how it does. If it doesn't take off, easily switch it out for another variation of the thumbnail that you made, and then try that one out. Okay, is this one starting to get more clicks? Am I starting to get more impressions and things like that? So not only does it help you make better thumbnails, but also lets you potentially try out different thumbnails so you can take an old video and get it more views. You'll also want to compare your thumbnail to other competitors around that topic. So what I like to do is whatever my topic is, I'll search that. I will screenshot the top videos around that topic, and then I will, in like Canva, put my thumbnail over the top of like the lowest thumbnail, and I'll actually compare my thumbnail directly to the people my video will probably be sitting next to. And I ask myself, is my video actually more clickable? Am I actually persuading viewers to click with this thumbnail? Or is mine way low quality compared to everyone else? If that's the case, I need to go back and remake that thumbnail, because if my thumbnail is not at least at par or better than theirs, no one's gonna click on my video, and I've wasted my time for nothing, because I can't compete with the competition out there. So make sure you are actually, this is the one time where it's okay to compare yourself. Make sure to compare yourself to the competition, and that your video is actually clickable, so that way you can actually make a high quality thumbnail. Tip number 33 is to update thumbnails and titles on old videos if they have good audience retention. Believe it or not, you can actually save old videos. Old videos can take off. They can still go viral. You can update the packaging on them and actually have them take off. But you want to make sure that it's not some video that already has poor audience retention, because you can change the packaging, but if people aren't watching the video to begin with, then, you know, what's the point? But if you have a video that's not getting clicks, but the people who did click seem to watch till the end, then hey, go and update that packaging. We just need to focus on getting more eyeballs on this. And the great thing about YouTube is it never gives up on your video. Like I have a video from 10 years ago that still gets impressions, which is eyeballs on the video, or at least on the thumbnail and the title. And that's 10 years ago. So you can continue to update thumbnails and titles from old videos and potentially breathe new life into them and get viewers watching your content. Tip number 34 is to make thumbnail creation easier with pre-made thumbnail templates. This is actually something I am starting to offer here on the channel. If you want to join the wait list, or if it's out, you will find it linked below in the description. And basically what I've done is I've taken viral thumbnails that have been proven to work, taking that format and recreating it in Canva, in Photoshop, and turning it into a template where you can literally just drag and drop yourself in and adjust the text to your liking for your audience, and poof, you have a viral thumbnail, high quality, that you can upload to your channel in like little to no time. Again, if you're interested in that, I'll have it linked below. Tip number 35, and this is gonna be controversial: don't waste your time worrying about vidIQ score and your TubeBuddy score. I cannot tell you how many people I've come across who are adjusting their titles and they're adjusting their thumbnails because vidIQ and TubeBuddy told them that this is not going to work. Oftentimes these tools are wrong. You know your audience, okay? You know what's going to appeal to them, but also you can look at competitors and know what's going to appeal to them. Don't trust some random tool. There are no top creators who are like, yes, I need to get the 100 out of 100 score on vidIQ, otherwise this video isn't going to take off. Like, it's not the case. It's just some made up thing to kind of, basically like a checklist. So I would not waste my time with it. I would not worry about, oh, this is giving me a low score. Just focus on knowing the viewers. And that's actually where the next tip comes in too. Don't waste your time messing with tags and hashtags. First of all, tags are never seen by your viewers. YouTube doesn't look at them unless there's something that's commonly misspelled. And hashtags are just like another way of making playlists. They don't actually help your content get promoted whatsoever. YouTube has never claimed that hashtags help your content get promoted. They've just said it helps you organize content with that hashtag. So don't waste your time on those either. They're not going to help your videos perform. However, do optimize your video description. YouTube does say that they look at your description to decide where to show your video, but also viewers look at your description. This is a great place to recommend other content they can watch. It's a great way to get people on your email list, or to buy a product, or click an affiliate link, or any of those things. What I personally do is I have like a Google Doc where I copy and paste my YouTube description in every time, so I don't have to write it. And if I do want to write like a sentence or two talking about the video, I can just, you know, type that when I upload it. But most of my description is just copy and paste. So definitely maybe make something like that. I'd also recommend tip number 38 to pin a comment with a call to action. So that way, when people go to the comment section, they can see your little call to action, which could be, go watch another video. You want to check out this video next, go watch this playlist. Or maybe if you have a goal to make money, you could have an affiliate link pinned in there, or your email list, or anything like that. It's another spot to get visibility towards whatever you want people to go to, whether it's a video or something money related. So utilize it. Also, add multiple info cards. So if you go into YouTube Studio under your video, you can actually add info cards, which if you want to see them, here's an example of an info card. This is just a link to a video or your website or anything like that that you can add in at any time from within YouTube Studio on desktop. And what's also cool is at the time of recording this video, if you go down into the description, whatever you link in the info card also pops up in your description. And oftentimes I'm not like too particular about where I put info cards. I don't put them at the beginning of my video because I want people to watch till the end. But I'll usually put them near the end. I'll put info cards in just so it's another way of, hey, if you want to watch another one of my videos, here you go. If you're going in my description, here's another spot where you can watch my videos. And then also you want to add end cards, kind of like we talked about, but consider adding a playlist end card. So when it gets to the end of the video, promote a playlist of videos that people can click on. And once they click on that playlist, they're sucked into 9 of your videos potentially, and they can see all those videos listed there and they're like, oh, maybe I'll watch this one, or maybe I'll watch the 8th video in the playlist. And also make sure every single one of your videos has end cards turned on, because again, like if someone stays to the end watching your video, chances are they'll watch another one of your videos. So make sure those are on every video, so that way we can send people to more of your content. Another tactic you can do is promote old videos with your community tab. So once you do unlock the community tab on YouTube, like you can just share old videos, write a little snippet about it where it's like, I did this video a few months back and it was really awesome. Definitely check it out. And the thing with the YouTube community tab is you get so many impressions. Like it gets shown to so many people, not only subscribers, but people who aren't subscribed to your channel yet, who have maybe watched one of your shorts, one of your long forms, or may just be in that general community interested in that type of content. So it's a really great way to promote things, especially old videos that you may want to get more views on or just get people to watch. And it takes what, like 1 minute, and you could get like an extra 1,000 to a couple thousand eyeballs potentially on it and clicking on your video, like totally worth it. And for our final list of tips, let's talk about YouTube Studio. And what I want you to do is spend time monitoring your videos in YouTube Studio. Like don't just post a video and ignore your analytics and all the things related to that, because that's ultimately what's going to help you figure out, okay, what went wrong here? Did this work? Did this not work? What do I need to change and adjust? So the first thing I would look at is impressions. Impressions are literally how many people see your title and thumbnail on YouTube. If you have really low impressions, it means your video is not really being shown in front of people. It usually has to do with a topic issue, where there's not a lot of interest around this topic. YouTube doesn't really have a lot of people where they might be able to pull it in front of, but also maybe they did try to initially put it in front of people. They didn't respond well to it. And so YouTube doesn't really have a spot to put this. And so impressions kind of flatline. Or maybe YouTube just realizes this isn't a good video. Viewers aren't enjoying this and we have no one else to show this to, because it's not a good video. So it just really doesn't get much attention. But even the bad videos, they'll still get some impressions over it. The next thing you'll want to check is your CTR, or your click-through rate. Are people actually clicking on my video? So once the impression's there, you have the impression click-through rate, and this is how many people who saw the thumbnail and title actually click. And this can change over time. Like some of my top videos have a 5% click-through rate because it's been shown to a lot of people. But for sure, if your click-through rate is like under 2%, under 3%, it's probably a bad thumbnail, title, topic combo thing. And I'd say a good click-through rate to aim for is anywhere 5 to 10%. Ultimately though, a good video is gonna get a lot of impressions and continue to get impressions. A bad video will flatline with impression. But as long as you got a click-through rate between 5 and 10%. That's usually what you want to aim for. I'd also recommend going into advanced mode in YouTube Studio and looking at your click-through rate there and the traffic sources, because that'll let you know what's the click-through rate for people who find this video in search versus homepage versus suggested. Because potentially, maybe you're doing a product review video and in search, you have a 10% click-through rate, but on homepage, you have a 2%. I think that's still a good thumbnail, because maybe the goal is to pop up in search when people are looking up the product. So, and some of those other traffic sources could be actually affecting the percentage of the click-through rate. So I would also go in advanced mode and check that before you adjust the thumbnail or something like that. Next, I would look at your audience retention graph. This will literally tell you when viewers are leaving your video and when they drop off. And this will give you information, because as you watch, you can actually click play and you can watch where in the video do people fall off, and you can find those spots and figure out, okay, what happened here that caused all these people to leave? Was it a part where I was going on and on about something and they all left? Was it boring? Did something happen that caused everyone to leave? Figure out what that is, and then you can make adjustments in the future to make sure that doesn't happen again, or, experiment and try ways to keep viewers from leaving. The next tab you should check in YouTube Studio is what your audience watches. Once you get enough data on your channel, YouTube will actually show you the videos that your viewers are watching. And these are usually outlier videos. These are usually viral type videos that are starting to get views and momentum. And this is a great place to do research on what topics to make, what else viewers who like your channel are watching. It's great reconnaissance. And the other tab that's similar to it is channels your audience watches. This is also great competition research because we can see a bunch of channels that my viewers are already watching, helps me learn about them, and then also allows me to do the exact same recon research of what are these channels' most popular videos? What are their outlier videos? I can gather all that information right from YouTube Studio. And the other thing I would check is the real-time data. Keeping an eye on this, seeing what videos of yours are actually getting views in real time. Because oftentimes I've checked it and I've looked and I'm like, oh, there's an old video from like 9 months ago that's getting momentum. It's starting to get views. I had no idea that this video from 9 months ago was starting to perform. And the real-time data will actually show me that. So do keep an eye on that, because once you do have a video getting momentum, might be a good time to make a part 2, and you can, be able to be right on top of that before you lose all that momentum. And finally, tip number 50, it's to subscribe. We give YouTube tips here all the time. You'll want to hit that subscribe button and also check out this free YouTube course that we've been talking about. It's going to go through absolutely everything you need to know. It was paid, and I made it completely free for you. So take advantage of me giving away free information that I should be charging for, and I hope to see you there.